Hey Hog fans, welcome back to another episode of Recalling Those Hogs. I'm Haley Kate Webb and I'm here today with former Razorback basketball player Manny Watkins. Manny, thanks for joining me today.
Yep, I'm enjoying this. This is fun. This is a great idea. I really like this.
Thank you. All right, it's time for the highly anticipated question, okay? So Dusty Hannahs and Johnny Buckets have both been on here and claimed, and I quote, that they could whoop you in a game of one-on-one. So it's your chance to set the record straight. Can either of these guys beat you one-on-one?
So first off, Johnny, not even close. I could probably tie my hand behind my back, my right hand behind my back, and beat Johnny. Nice try though, Johnny, but no. And we can maybe try to film that one. I know Johnny's around somewhere. Dusty, here's the thing with Dusty. I'm way more talented than Dusty. He has worked a little bit harder than me the past 3 years. So I'll give that one to Dusty. Dusty he's a knockdown shooter, strong, get to the basket, drive, a little bit better shape than I am in right now. So I'll go 1-1.
1-1.
I'll be honest.
Okay, that's better than 0-2.
Yeah, better than 0-2. Definitely that's not the truth, but I go 1-1. All
right, 1-1. You guys have been quite the characters. So in your opinion, who's the funniest character from back in the day on the team?
Ooh. We had some clowns on our team. Honestly, Moses was the funniest dude, and sometimes he wasn't even trying to be funny, but just the way he said things and like the jokes he made and how he could keep a straight face when he was saying stuff was just, yeah, he was definitely one of the funniest teammates I've had.
All right, well, talk to me a little bit about your recruitment to Arkansas, how you ended up here, and if playing for your dad was something that you always had as a goal or if that just worked its way out.
So I was actually committed to Missouri State. I was going to Missouri State. I actually was about to sign to Missouri State. I came over 2 days before, talked to Coach Anderson, talked to my dad. It's got weird situations with my dad, but he's talking to me about playing. And they were like, hey, don't go to Missouri State, come here. And I was like, hey, I'm not passing up on an opportunity to go to Arkansas. And it was just kind of one of those things where I was about to do that. Things changed, and then I ended up a Hog, and it was probably the best decision I've made, to date.
Yeah, we're glad that you did, for sure. Is there one memory that stands out as a favorite from your time as a Razorback?
Definitely the 2 times we got to the NCAA tournament. It was just, they had the food set up, I'm sitting next to all my brothers, and then to see your name pop up for the NCAA tournament, that's like all those 6 a.m. workouts, all the lifting, all the conditioning, it like all, comes full circle, and it just like all that hard work pays off. So.
Okay, who was the team to beat? Who did you love to beat when you were a Hog?
Obviously Kentucky. That's Arkansas, Kentucky have this clash. But for me personally, I loved beating Missouri, and I loved beating Texas A&M. Mainly just because my dad was coaching at both those schools. I grew up, my dad coaching Texas A&M, so I used to run the halls of Reed Arena. Same thing with Missouri. We got there when I was 10 years old, so I used to run the halls of that gym. So going back into those arenas where I kind of like grew up and playing and then beating those teams I always had those games circled on the calendar.
Any pregame superstitions leading up to those games?
I always take a nap. I just want to relax my mind, so I would go into the locker room, cut the lights off, and just knock out for like 45 minutes. Not too long, don't want to be groggy, but I got to get my pregame nap in.
Okay. Were you the most superstitious, or did somebody have you beat on the superstition?
Dusty had me beat because every single game, he would have to go out, and he used to make us all mad. He'd have to go out like 2 hours before. He'd have to have 3 managers rebounding for him. We'd have to make a certain amount of shots. Like, none of us could go down on his side of the court. It's like 5 of us on one side, and we have to shoot and get our own rebounds while Dusty hogs all the managers, hogs all the rebounding. But he had his routine that he had to do, or he didn't feel good about the game.
Okay. What was the craziest game you remember in Bud?
Oh, wow. There's so many good games in Bud. The craziest game, and this is a little bit different, I wasn't even on the team. So it was the year after I had graduated, and the Hogs played Tennessee here. And it was a Saturday, sold out, and it went to overtime. But, I'm biased because I think my team's always the best, but that was probably the loudest I'd heard Bud since I moved to Arkansas. When they played Tennessee, Daniel Gafford had some big time dunks. Daryl Macon, Jalen Barford had some big time shots. That was probably the craziest game. And I know it's like I didn't play in it, but that one was wild.
Okay, well, speaking of crazy games and overtimes and the crazy endings, you yourself had some big time buzzer beaters to seal the game, Ole Miss, South Carolina. So talk to me about those games and those shots, what the calls were going into it, what's going through your mind. Were you supposed to have the shot, or did it just happen?
No,
just let
I
me
can
know.
tell you that. No. So Ole Miss, my sophomore year, it was a back and forth game the whole time. They had came to Bud Walton and beat the brakes off of us earlier in the year, so it was like a revenge game. And I was playing well. I had a really good game, and one of our guys fouled out, so I came in, and the play was just for Kai Madden, our point guard at the time, to do a pick and roll and then just make a play. And my man who was guarding me just completely turned and like went to try to help because Kai was driving. And I just like went in because he was going to shoot. I was going to try to get a rebound. And I looked down and the ball's in my hand. So instincts just kick in and I just shoot the little floater that I like to shoot, and it went in. And it was kind of like, I didn't really know what was going on because that wasn't the play, but I shoot it, make it, and then get back on defense, and we win the game. And that was fun because when you're a sophomore, you're still, underclassmen. So it was just, school was a lot of fun for like a month after that because everyone was like, "Man, good shot, good shot." It was a lot of fun. And then South Carolina, we were just running our motion set. The shot clock went down, and the ball ended up in my hands, and I had to just go get a bucket. So it was one of those plays where you just throw it up there. That one was ugly too, but it went in. So
that is one of the craziest shots I've ever seen.
Crazy shot. Yeah.
It was a good shot though.
Yeah,
good shot.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Helped us win.
Well, before I let you go, let me know what you're up to now and what your plans are for the future, what you're looking forward to.
So right now I'm working at Walmart. I hung the shoes up. It was a tough decision because I was like, man, do I want to go play? Because I love basketball. I still love it. And that's what I'm doing right now, to be honest. I'm day by day. There's some days where I'm like, hey, I want to try this, maybe try that. But right now I'm at Walmart and I'm really enjoying it. But this is a place I always have my heart. So who knows? Maybe there's some stuff helping the Hogs out in the future, but that's me right now.
Well, maybe you should at least come out of retirement to whoop Dusty and Johnny.
That's a given. That's a given. I'm definitely coming out of retirement for that.
All right. Well, that's really all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
If you're from a Razorback and you want to be featured, reach out to me via the social media and contact information in the description below. Once again, I'm Haley Kate Webb with Manny Watkins, and this has been Recalling Those Hogs.